Good morning, my lovely reception. It is Thursday, the 25th of February, and today we're going to be looking at something called equality. Now, this is quite a challenging thing we're going to be looking at, but I think you guys can do it because your maths is superb. Now, if you remember this sign, we always say it means equals. And when you write your sum down, you put equals and then you would add the two numbers together. That's what we've looked at the most. But this sign doesn't just mean equals. It can also mean the same as, makes, equivalent, balance, and total. So there's lots of different meanings for this special symbol, but they pretty much all mean the same thing. So here I have a balance pan. Now, you have to put the same in each side, otherwise it will tilt. And we've got these at school, so lots of you have used these at school. Now, today, what we're going to be looking at is how what you have on one side has to be the same as what you have on the other side. So if you had 1 add 1, I think most of you know what 1 and 1 is. What's 1 and 1? Is 2. What would you need on the other side to make it balanced? You'd need another 2. So you'd have 1 add 1 on one side, which makes 2, and then you have 2 on the other side to make it balance, because 1 add 1 equals 2. So this is a little bit of a more challenging one. So if you've got 3 add 4 on one side, so what's 3 add 4? If you put 3 in your head, you can count on 4, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I might have counted wrong then. Put 3 in your head. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. There we go. So we've got 7 on one side and we've got 7 on the other. So the balance scales are equal. They are balanced just like that. They're not tilting or the wrong way. They're just straight flat like that. And here we've got another one. We've got 4 add 1 on one side. So what's 4 add 1? 4 add 1 makes 5. And on the other side, we've got the number 5. So they are balanced again. But what happens if we kept the 4 on one side, which makes 5? So we've got 5 on one side. And then if I change the 5 into a 7, what would happen to the scales? What do you think? Do you think they'd stay flat like this? Or do you think they might tilt? You can have a little chat with your grown-up to see what you think might happen. Now, this is where we start to get really challenging with this, because on one side, we've got something add 2 equals, or is a balance, to 7. Now, what does something need to be? So we know on one side we've got 7, and you can see that there are 7 little blue balls. You can count them to check that there are 7. Now, what two numbers do you need to add together to make 7? They've already given you a head start. They've given you number 2. What number do you need to add to make 7? So you could put 2 in your head and you could count on, or you could put 7 in your head and take away 2. So I'm going to add, because I find that a little bit easier. So if you put 2 in your head, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 2 add 5 equals 7. So that little X box needs to be 5. Let's see, there we go. So 5 add 2 equals 7. And then on the other side, we've got 7. So the balance is equal. It's not tilting either way. Oh, now here we've got another challenging one. We've got an X, so we've got a mystery. Now, I'd like to give you guys a little bit of time to see if you can work this one out. Now, remember, if you're finding this really hard, that's okay, because we're using some quite big numbers here. So if you need to stop me to see if you can work that out, it's fine. If you think, oh my goodness, it's far too tricky, I can't do that, don't worry at all, you can just carry on. So here is your T-Rex challenge. I want you to pretend that you have your own scales, and I'd like you to create your own maths scales. So you're going to think, what can we have on one side to make it balanced for the other? So you could just have 2 numbers if you want to. You could have the number 2 and you could have the number 2, because then you know it would be nice and balanced. Or you could have the number 12 and the number 12 and it would still be balanced. But if you want to challenge yourself, you can see if you can add numbers together. You could take away numbers. You could even try and times numbers together. But remember, it's really important that whatever you have on one side has to be on the other side so that it's balanced. So you could have 2 times 5 on one side, which is 10. And then you could have 5 add 5 on the other side because they both equal 10. So it means it will be nice and balanced. Okay, so you can have a little go on your own at home. Now you can make this as tricky as you want or a little bit more simple if you're finding it really hard. But I'll be really interested to see how you get on with this task, everybody. Super listening, and I'm looking forward to seeing all your work. Bye.